Hi, everybody. Good evening. Um, Shelly, good to see you as usual. And and thank you very much to the person. I totally forgot her name now. It just happened who did the introduction. Um, I'm very happy to be here with you guys. I don't do this quite often because we have quite a number of people we put on the ground to take care of our people in Jamaica. So it's quite a privilege to actually sit in the seat of trainer and presenter. Usually I would be the one introducing and then giving the overview afterwards. I'm very happy to be here. However, I'm gonna go quickly because I have another engagement at the top of the hour. So I have to run as usual. We keep on running. But I'm very happy to see all of you and hoping that we will get this new normal as it is under control and call it the normal from now on with online learning. Okay. Now I'm gonna go through a short PowerPoint to show you what it is in Google Classroom that you teachers in general need to get to wrap their heads around. And then we're going to walk through how to set up a classroom from your personal Gmail account. You must have a Gmail account, or you have an account, an email account from the district, the school district, or in Jamaica, the Ministry of Education, or even if you're using your personal email, it must be a Gmail account. It cannot be anything else. It must be a governmental .gov or .org or .edu. It must be one of those domains in order to operate on Google platform. Okay, let's get started. Okay, if you have any questions, you can hold them until later on. We'll get the questions in. I'm gonna go as quickly as possible so that we have a few minutes for questions. I'm sure you're gonna have some questions there to answer. Okay, I'm gonna share my screen. Miss, since I don't have any assistants on here, it's very limited. And I realized that the meeting has been maxed out. I thought it was gonna be less than this, or else I would have used our company's Zoom account that is unlimited. But whoever reaches the 100 mark will they will get the probably the recording or something else later on. But we do put on Jaminars for Jamaica in general. So whoever is not on here will get to attend the Jaminars later on this month and the months ahead. Can put something together for them. Okay, Miss Pinnock, if you can keep an eye on the chat, and then if you can answer some questions, or later on, if you know hold them until if you can type it in or hold them until later.
No problem.
Okay, all right, cool. All right, so Google Classroom is very versatile. It's one of the best things ever that they have created for teaching and learning. It's very good. It's efficient. It's student-centered, and it's very user-friendly for teachers. And it doesn't use a whole lot of bandwidth because it's not video. It's mostly documents. So it's very good. Now, if you're asked to do a video conference or so on to meet students online, you will never use Google Classroom. You will use Google Meet, Google Hangout, which are totally different apps from Google Classroom. So Google Classroom is just like your teacher record book. And by extension, it's like a Facebook account with the Facebook page that you post assignments, you post notification on there, and any link that you have for students. If you want to upload files, then that's where you do that. It's not for video. So it's very good as it relates to documentation and keeping in touch. And if you're thinking about bandwidth or you don't have a lot of data, Google Classroom is not about too much data. Okay. All right. These are the different things that are included in the Google Suite. Google Classroom, Google Meet. You have the Hangout icon there, Docs, Google Docs, Slides, and Google Calendar, which many of us use Google Calendar on our phones all the time. So these are the different ones. Now, if you notice, the Hangout is not featured so much on here because Google uses the Meet. They want us to use Meet as much as possible nowadays because it's sort of user friendly. Even though I prefer to use Zoom instead of Google Meet. So that's one option that they give to us. These are the different components explained. Google Classroom for communication and assignments. Google Meet for daily video conferencing and lessons, face-to-face lessons online. Google Slides, how teachers will share information and instruction during their video conferencing lessons. And the Google Docs is what many people always talk about and confuse it with the Google Drive. And Google Docs is Word, is basically a Word document online that Google created and keep it online that you can manipulate it just like in a Word document, but it's online. So you can access it anywhere in the whole wide world, just like the slide. And whatever you type in online, it automatically saves. So you don't have to think about, oh my God, I lose my documents if you have internet issues. It automatically saves. The second you stop typing, it saves it. So it's okay. It's really cool that you can have on the go. The only problem is you have to have internet access to use it. Google Calendar is very good. It's very, very good for teachers because you can put your assignments in the Drive, which we haven't talked about or touched on yet on this. And then you can link them to Google Classroom as well as the Google Calendar. And students can see what is coming up. And you as a teacher can see what is coming up as well on your calendar. And you can just click one click on the link in the calendar and it takes you right to the Google Classroom. Okay, so it's pretty good. It's like having one house with all different rooms in there to take you everywhere you want to go through the passages. Okay. Why Google Classroom? Why Google Suite? Suite is basically the entire compound of Google. It's an integrated platform for instruction, assignment, and communication with families, including students and so on. It's security in knowing that all personnel information relevant to you and your students is protected and managed by IT departments and administration, wherever they are. They're managed by that department. So you're getting your account through the Ministry of Education. That account is managed by the Ministry of Education. So one of the things that we always think about is be careful what you put on there because it's not your account. So you don't want to put your personal information there because it's not your personal Google account. It's managed by the ministry or by the school. So you want to keep your personal information away from it. And you want to keep only educational information in there for students and professional development, not personal. So Google Classroom, if you're using your device, these are the devices that you can use, and this is the app. It looks like that if you want to use the app instead of going on the website, and the website is in blue at the bottom. There's a link. It's iPad, tablets, and mobile devices, any phone, whether it be iPhone or Android, you can use it for to access the app and also to access the website. Now, if you have my suggestion is that you use Chrome, use Google Chrome as much as possible if you're going to use the website, because Safari has a problem with Google to stick and stock and everything else, glitches and so on. So you might want to use Chrome if you're going, even on your computer, your laptops, try to use Chrome as much as possible if you're using the website. Okay, we're gonna come back to this site in a little while to show you again setup. Okay, now the device looks like this with the iPad. If you want to download your app and get in as a teacher, okay? Download the app looking like this in the App Store or the what do you call it? Google Play Store. The Google app looking like this, or if you want to use Chrome, as I said. And the website down here, if you want to take a screenshot of this, it's right there. It's classroom.google.com. And we're not going to talk about Drive today so much, Google Drive, but it's almost the same thing as Drive. It's drive.google.com. Every one of them is what it is, slide.google.com. Or the other one is Doc, Google Doc. Okay. Okay, now downloading the app, and we all know how to download the app, so I'm gonna skip over this. There's a website. You want to go into that, looking like that, to enter your Google or Gmail account. And once you get in there, you enter either your phone or email address, and you enter your password. The password looks something like this. If in my case, my school is eagleacademypcs.org. So it's my first name dot last name at the domain that you give to us, and the password is whatever password you get to use, okay, from your organization. In this case, it would be the Ministry of Education. If you want to get, or your principal, I think your principal will provide that, right, Miss Pina? Miss Pina, what is your?
The Ministry of Education provided username and password, and each teacher would have gotten a username that ends with they have their first name, last name at moeschools.edu.jm.
Oh, cool. Yeah, that's
right.
it. Miss Kelly. I like to call you by your maiden name. Okay. All right. And then you have a temporary password, and you enter that temporary password.
Excuse me, when do we receive those email addresses?
From your principal, I think.
The Ministry of Education would have sent it to the principals, to the school's email, and the principals would have or should have distributed them to the teachers or passed them on to the teachers.
Okay. All right. All right, then you enter your password. That's the temporary password. Or even if you enter the temporary password already and you're going back into your Google account, you have to use this procedure. Okay, password. Then once this looks like your Google Classroom. So we're gonna for the app, if you're downloading an app, you'll have to choose teacher from this, and then get into your Google Classroom. All right, so I'm gonna stop right here, and then we're gonna practice. So I'm thinking that you have your information already, which is your username and password. If not, you can just follow on the screen, and we'll walk you through in the system setting up a classroom. Okay. All right, so let's go from the drive. So I'm gonna go from, I'm gonna go from my drive. All right, I'm gonna share my screen and just walk you through setting it up. All right, you're supposed to have a screen looking like this. Once you get into your Google account, I don't want to sign out of my Google account, but it's supposed to look something like this with your icon and so on up here. If you click in the right-hand corner, there are 9 dots up here. You have quite a few apps in there. If you scroll down, you start seeing like the Google search bar there, Maps, Play, Google Play, and going down. The Drive is right there, Google Photos, and then past all of those, then you get into the section that you want as a teacher. So you have finances, docs, Google Docs, sheets, slides, books, blogger, Hangout, and so on. And this is Google Classroom right down here, next to Google Earth. It might be a little bit different if you don't have so many apps. It might be a little bit different. So you click on Google Classroom. If you haven't signed up yet, you will have, once you click on Google Classroom, it's gonna bring you to a blank page looking like this with no classroom on it, because I have a little classroom over there. There's no classroom on it, all right? So what you want to do is to go up in the right corner and you will see this little plus sign right here. This little plus sign, if you roll your mouse over it or cursor, you'll see create or join a class. So you want to click on it. When you click on it, you get two options. The two options is either create or you join a class. In your case, you don't want to join any class because you're the teacher. You want to create the class. So click on create and it's going to open up into this a disclaimer type of thing or information. It's basically that. So it's asking you if you sign up for your school, you might need to use the education account from your school. In your case, you might not see this because I'm using my personal one. So I would say, yes, I understand everything, the privacy of it and all that, okay? And then I will click continue. Once you click continue, it talk about creating a class. So you're going to name the class if you haven't gotten it named from the ministry, okay? Because in our case here in the US, once it comes from the school, your class is named already, your students are in there already. All you need to do is probably change your name or change the background. So in your case, you might need to start it from scratch here, okay? So you want to enter your name. So let's choose a name for our class. So if it is like 5th grade, and you want to name it Mr. Nelson, maybe, okay? Mr. Nelson's 5th grade class. You name the class. And go down to the next section. And you can skip over section because section is basically if you have a number of different classes, then you choose the one that you want. So if you have many different periods, so if you're teaching like high school and you have different classes, different, what do you refer to them as? Form 1, Form 2, Form 3, or 10-1, 10-2, 10-3. I don't know, I can't remember what they call them. Okay, so you might choose one of the sections, call it period 1, period 2, period 3, or Form 1, Form 2, or 7A, 7B, 7C. Okay, that's for the section if you're doing that in high school. If you're in elementary school and you might have 2 classes or so on, you might need to put that in the section. But for subject, if you're teaching 1 class, you just want to put your name again. Maybe if you're teaching just 1 class, you don't really want to put any subject there. If you want to separate it by subject, then you put a subject there. But if I were you and I'm teaching elementary school, I wouldn't put the different subjects because it will confuse them, the students that is. When they have to come out of 1 subject, you're gonna basically create 2 classes. Come out of 1 subject, go into another subject, go into another subject, and so on. It's very confusing. Okay, all right, now if you have a room number, then you put your room number there. So let's call it room 101, okay? RM 101, just for this is a demo one, okay? And then you click create. Now what it's gonna do is to take you, it's taking a little bit of time. It's gonna take you into something like this, okay? So that's your class already. Created your class with your name at the top and it dropped right into the stream of things right there. Now what you're going to do is you're gonna, you know, spruce it up a little bit. You know, like add some colors, change the picture and so on, theme. You can change that right here where it says select theme or upload a photo. If you select theme, click on select theme, you have all these preloaded themes from Google. You can choose one of them either under general or science, English and history, math and science, arts, sports, or other, okay? So in the interest of time, because I love math and science, let's choose this one with this over here. And we can change the theme. Okay, now the theme is changed. All right, so that's the essence of that. That's a nice part. Now let's get down to the more serious part. Okay, very serious. This little link right here is very small now, but you can pull it up. It's very, very important. These little letters right here, they're alpha numerical code. You have some letters in there and some numbers. Maybe in this case, you have one number, 6. You cannot lose that. In fact, you cannot lose it really, because if you lose it, it's already in your Google account. Okay, so this one is what you're going to give to your students. If you give this to your students, then they can log into your classroom, because that's what you're going to give to them. It's an invite code or invite link that they're going to use. So once they get into their Gmail account, then they click on classroom to join your class, they're going to get this to enter into their join a class. And that is why we say don't join a class as a teacher, because you need this code. You don't have any already because you're the teacher. If you create the classroom, you have the code, you give it to your students, and then they can come in. But every single person who is in Google Classroom, they must have some affiliation with Google Classroom. For example, they must have a .org domain, or the edu domain, or the .gov domain, or one of those domains, or a Gmail account. If your students have a Yahoo account, they cannot get in there. If they have a Hotmail account, they can never get into Google Classroom. Nobody can get in there with those. Unless you probably write to Google and say, please. But I don't know if they will let you in there, seriously. Okay, so now you have the code, and you can display this on your board or wherever you have in your Zoom meeting with your students, and give it to them. And it's very sensitive. It's case sensitive. So all of them is lowercase and the number. All right, now you won't be able to change that, by the way. It's this class code, and if you delete the class, then you delete it with it. So you won't be able to change it. But it's very tough to delete a class in Google. You might not be able to delete it totally. Okay, so that's for the code for the class. Let's talk about, go from left, okay, at the top. Next to the teacher's name. These little 3 lines right here, if you click on it, it has all your class information. It has my 2 class here because I created that one to use as a demo one time. And then I created this one to use with you guys. So this one, it has the classes that I have in there. So all your classes that you have created will be in there. It has the calendar. Google always talk about your calendar. And then if you have archived class, that you saved, you archived it, then you might have it in there as well. Okay. So that's basically it. What is in that the little 3 lines? It has very simple menu right now because of this that I have on there. There's not much going on right here. It's not much. In my other one, there is a lot going on, but this one is very simple. So you don't have a whole lot of things going on here. If you look at the bottom of this one, it has settings here. This is the settings. If you click on settings, it takes you right down into your account. That is your classroom account, not your personal account. It takes you in your classroom account. And all these little blue things that are clicked, you can click them off. For example, and you should go in and explore this, because it's very important that you know what you're showing to your students, what they're not seeing, so that you can show them stuff, and then you can block them from seeing stuff, you know, if you don't want them to see things. And it's not inappropriate stuff. Everything is appropriate. But you might not want them to see things before you want them to see things. Like, for example, if you're putting up an assignment and you don't want them to see it before you want them to see it, you want to make sure that you block their little eyes from it. Okay? All right. So you have your email notifications right here. If you want to see, to receive them, you can. If you click it, once it's blue, it's clicked on. Comments. If you want your students to comment on your post that you're posting in there, and we're going to show you how to post in there, then you click it. Right now it's on, that they will comment on the post. It's just like Facebook, basically. This give them permission to comment on a post. You comment the comments that mention you want to show. Private comments on work you want to show. So if you give work to them and you want them to comment on the work and you want the comment to show publicly so that other students will see it, then you choose that one. If you alone want to see the comment that they post on it, you want to click it off so that nobody else will see it. Classes,
Dr. Dyce,
yes,
may I interject?
yes.
When I click on the settings on my device,
Mm-hmm.
I am seeing update photo sync. Well, I'm using a phone.
Mm-hmm.
Sync over more. I'm not seeing all that you're sharing on your screen.
Oh yeah, because it's the app. The app doesn't give you a whole lot. The app doesn't give you. So please use use Chrome as much as possible online. The browser, use the Chrome browser as much as possible. Please do not use the app. If you're using the app, do not use it to check up on things or to do things. It's very limited. But if you want to check on something, yeah, you can use the app. But to get in and get a deep approach and understanding of Google, you really want a computer, a laptop, or a desktop computer. Okay?
Okay.
Yeah. Okay. So classes you teach, late submission of students' work. You want to show that the late submission, resubmission of students' work, invitation to co-teach. This is for other teachers and your principal. So every one of you as teachers, you really need to get your principal on there as a co-teacher. If you don't want to lock your, somebody needs to mute. You want to get your principal on there as a co-teacher, so to speak, so that they have access to your classroom. Okay. And also, if you have people coming in and out of your class, pulling a group or so on of students, then you want to link them to be co-teachers too. So invitations to co-teach, you want to show that, and then schedule posts, published or failed. You might want to show that because it's what you want to see what's happening. So I really set all of them on because I want to see it. Okay, let's go back to the classroom. All right, so moving to the right, we have the stream, and the streamer on already. The stream will look like a Facebook page on the front page. It doesn't look like that now because nothing is going on for it. We just created it. But if you want, say you want to send an announcement or you want to send some information to parents and students, you want to type it in here, okay? You want to say, okay, to all students, or maybe if you want to specify, no, nobody is in there, so it's not going to show their names. When you have many people in there, it has quite a few names dropping down here. So you can choose which student to send it to. In this case, we're going to send it to all people. And then when you have many different classes, you can choose which class to send it to as well. In this case, we're going to keep it to Mr. Nelson because he's the one we're dealing with. Okay, all right, so let's say we're saying, hi class, we're going to have, hi students. We will be online next, maybe Tuesday, okay? This, all right, put a period there, grammar. This is the link to join Zoom. Say you're gonna use Zoom, okay? Okay, and then when you put your, if you want to, put the link right there. So you're in Zoom. And you want to put the link there. Hang on, I'm gonna go into this Zoom and I'm going to get the participants. Right. Copy invitation. All right, this particular one I'm doing, the one that we're on. So I put the link right there. Or if you want to not put the link there and get them to see it, and then you will say, You can say thank you, comma, Mr. Nelson.
Ready? Okay.
Hang on 1 second, because
Tomorrow.
for now, guys, I'm gonna put everybody on mute for now because it's distracting. And except for, where are you, Miss Kelly? Where are you? See if I can unmute you. If you have a question, please raise your hand. I'm gonna mute everybody because it's distracting. Okay. So that's what you put in there. No, let's say you didn't put the link there. Okay. Let's say you didn't put the link there. Let's say you want to put a link in here. And let's say you have other things that you want to share with them before they come in class. Okay. You can insert it from your Google Drive. You can insert the link here, click on link, and it takes it to the link. You insert it. If you want a file from your computer, you can insert it there as well. If you have a YouTube link, you can insert it there as well. Okay. Now, the problem with YouTube is if the school district, in our case over here, the school district blocks YouTube. So there are a particular permission you will get to use YouTube in a school. If they don't block YouTube, then it's fine. You can insert a link there. And then you can upload it straight by clicking post, and it posts. However, take a look at what is beside post. You have options. You can schedule the post to go off at a certain time in the future, so you don't have to get it live right away. You can schedule it, so you click on schedule, and there's a little part there where the calendar comes up and the time. So you can choose the date, either tomorrow or the next day or whenever, and then you can choose the time when you will make it available to them. So it just pops on the screen once that time comes, and you don't have to do anything else to it. So let's cancel it and let's post it now because we want to see it live, okay? And you wait, and it comes up right there. So when your students, in their email, they will get this notification that you have posted something already. And then they will check it on Google Classroom because they will see it in their email. Their Google email that is attached to the classroom, they'll get it in there. So that's it. Once they get in there, all they need to do is to click on this link, and it takes them directly to the Zoom call that you want them to be on. Okay. Now, let's say you want to schedule anything at all. You just basically click in this one and you add, or you want to click up here and you add a new one. When people comment on this one down here, you'll see it falling below, just like in Facebook. You'll see the comments fall below. Okay, so that's it for announcements or any posts that you want to make in there, and any attachments that you want to attach to it. Okay, links or YouTube link or a file from your computer, you can attach there, and they will just automatically go up there for them to see. If you want to keep, let's say you're posting a whole lot of things, right? And this post drops all the way to the bottom, and you want to keep it at the top. Each time you want to keep it at the top of the post, at the beginning of the post right here, that every time they come on, you want them to see it first, even though you're posting other things there. You see these three little dots here? Click on them. Click on the three little dots on the post itself, and you see where it says move to top, that's what you click. Right now, it's not activated because we only have one post in there, obviously. So you have nothing for it to, it's already on top, but it will be dark like one of these and active, so you can choose it. Now, another thing you can do with these three little dots is that you can edit the post. So it's not too late to edit anything on there, and you can also delete it, or you can copy it and post it again somewhere else. So you can do that for that one, okay? All right, so that we just look at stream only. That's just for stream. Now you might ask, where is it that I do classwork? What's going on? How do I see my students? And grades and so on, okay? We're gonna talk about those. Before we go to the next one here, which is classwork, let's talk about this right here, upcoming. It says upcoming right here, and it says no work due soon. Once you start posting assignments in Classroom, then you're going to see these. If you schedule them, you're going to see them popping up over there. And the students will see them too, popping up. So there's nothing there for us to click on yet. All right, Classwork. No, Classwork is right here already. No, get this straight. This, when you start populating here with Classwork, it looks just like the front page that we just came from. All of them will be right there, and they'll be beautifully posted, looking wonderful in there, and students will have a chance. The student view is a little bit different from this, by the way. And they will see them, and they can see when they're due. They'll see what your requirements are, the expectations for your class, for the work, because you're going to put them in. Okay. Now there are many ways of creating classwork, many ways. One of them is, it says assign work to your class here. Create assignments and questions. Use topics to organize classwork into modules or units. So you can create them and keep them in little topics or folders as it is. And you can order the work that students will see. So it's similar to the first page, that you can keep some of them in front of the others so that they will not get lost. To create classwork, you click on create, and you see all of these ones that you can use. You can create assignments, you can create quiz, you can create just a question. You can create upload material, just to upload material, that's all. And then you can reuse the post if you post something already. Let's click on assignments. We're going to talk about quizzes, not a whole lot of quizzes, so much. All right, so assignments first. Now you can give the assignment a title. So you can call it maybe math worksheet. Okay, call it math worksheet number 1. We're going to call it that for now. You can call it comprehension passage 1, or really name it. So if you're reading a comprehension passage on Marcus Garvey, you can name it Marcus Garvey comprehension passage and put some page number on it wherever you got it from. And then you can put instructions for them to do. So let's say do numbers 1 to 3 on it. Okay, you just quickly do 1 to 3 of this worksheet. Okay, you can do that, and you can write a whole lot on it. We're just doing this for this activity. Then you can upload something. So you can click on this and see all of your little friends already. You can click on Google Drive, upload from Google Drive, because you save in there already. You have created something from Google Drive and you want to upload it here. If you have a link that leads to a math worksheet or a comprehension passage, in this case it's a math worksheet. If you have a link, online link, you want to put it right there. If you have a file on your computer, PDF file preferably, you want to upload it right there. Or if you have a YouTube video that you want them to watch of something that you want them to complete and reflect on it right there in the assignment, you can do that as well. So you have options right here. Then once you're done, you could create. But before you could create, look over on the right here. This is all your rubrics and everything else, the points that you're going to give them out of. So let's say the assignment is 10 questions. You want to put 10 questions here. 10 is 1 point per question. If you want to click on the little arrow here and it says ungraded. So if you don't want to grade it, if it's not for a grade, you click ungraded. If it's for all students, then you click on all students. Remember, this is just no student in there yet. If you have all your students, 20 something students, all of their names will drop down here. If you just want it to go to Johnny, little Johnny, because you want him and maybe Susie to do the work, you click on Johnny and Susie, check them, and they are the only ones who will see this assignment. If you want your entire class to see it, you leave it as all students. Leave it as all students up here. If you want it for another class, you could also check the other class here. Okay, so you can choose whether it's for one class or many classes. The due date you put right here. Click on this and you get your due date, and submit the due date there, and it's due whichever date you're putting there. And if you want to create a topic for it right here, you can create a topic. Let's say, for example, you want to keep all of them because you're going to create more worksheets. So you want to call this maybe, what is the worksheet now that you're getting for math? measurement, okay? Let's say it's a measurement worksheet. Put it on the measurement because other worksheets are gonna come on the measurement. And you're not done with measurement yet. So you want all of them, the ones that you're gonna be creating in the future too, you're gonna keep them on the measurement. So keep, for example, measurement, that's a topic you're looking at. And this worksheet falls under that. Now this is important right here. If you want to use a rubric, click on rubric, and then you're gonna create a rubric, or if you already created one, you click reuse here, it's gonna bring you to the one that you already created. We haven't created any for this class, so it doesn't make any sense we click on that. Okay, so if you created one already, you want to reuse it, you click on that. When you haven't created one already, you create it here. Now let's say you have done one on Google Sheets and it's in Google Drive on Google Sheets. If you want to import it from there, you click on Sheets and it brings you right to Sheets, and you search through to find it and upload it right here. Let me click on create for you to see the options that you have. So all of these, create the criterion title, meaning how much is it coming out of, okay, and what is required of it. Then you create a description. You're gonna describe what it is for. It's for worksheet 1, it's measurement on so and so and so. If you're doing a metric system of measurement, or you're using measurement to space, or whatever you're doing with it. The points that you want, and these arrows here can count up your points. Can count all the way up however many points you're given this criterion to, and then you scroll down. And then description and level, title, and so on. Then once you're finished with that, you can add more criterion as you go along. Add the criteria here. This is just one that you put on. So let's say you're doing for workout. So if they show working, you could put show working up here, 5 points. And then you go down, add another criterion. And this other one is getting the correct answer, 5 points. You put it in there, so and so and so. And then you click save. In the upper right-hand corner up here, you click save, and the rubric will be saved. Now, once you click save, I'm not gonna save it. Once you click save, it will appear down here on this one, and then you can, of course, reuse it for the other worksheets that you have coming up. So you have to recreate that one. You don't have to recreate it. And once you upload the assignment, so let's click on assign. Before you click on it, there's a little arrow right next to assign. Again, you can schedule it for whichever day you want it to appear to the students. You can schedule it to appear. So this is the thing I'm talking about. If you want to hide things from students before they actually show up, that's where you can hide it, so that they're not seeing it before the date. Okay, you can assign it the same right away, or you can save the draft so that you can come back to it and finish up your editing and so on. So let's assign it to the class. Okay, and then it appears right here. See, it's on the measurement. It appears right there, and every single worksheet that you make on the measurement, you call them measurement in the folder, they will appear here. Let's say you want to create another one and change it from measurement. Let's say you move on from measurement and you want to choose something else. Type in your title, do whatever with that. Over here, where it says topic, you change it, write a new topic. You notice measurement is down here. So if you want the topic to be on the measurement again, put it on the measurement, it appears here. So you want to create it. It's very easy, okay? The hardest part is to create the assignments, not to create it right here, but to actually make the worksheet and have it available to upload for them. That's the hardest part. All right, so that's classwork. Under classwork 2, that's assignment. For quizzes, it's a little bit different, the layout for quizzes. If you notice, it has quiz banks right here, Google Forms. Google Forms is another thing that you need to do a workshop on. Google Forms, this is really, really cool for quizzes. Very, very cool, because it has the options ABC in there already. Multiple choice, and it has short answers that you can put in and so on. It's pretty cool that you can attach to it. Google Forms. This is what they use for surveys also. Everything survey and so on. It's very secure. So put in your title, write your instruction, what you want them to do for the quiz, and then put in your points over here, of course. And if it's for all students, this has to do with differentiation. So you're differentiating assignments and so on. With students, you want to choose whoever gets the assignment, or if you want all of them to do it. And then of course you choose the topic. It's under measurement again, or if you want to create a new topic, then you create a new topic. Okay, so that's it right there. Okay, now let's go to the next one. So that's for assignment. You can explore it. If you make any mistakes in there, guys, you don't have to worry. It's not gonna be the end of the world. You can delete them and you can start over again. If you even put them as live, you can stop them. I'm gonna show you in settings where you can stop them from seeing it even if it goes live. Okay, all right, let's go to the other one. And notice that I want to click on create for all of these. Under create here, this little button here, it's going to be your best friend. Question. Now, you might be asking, how do I take attendance in Google? Okay, this right here is one way. Create a question. Okay, then you create a question, let's say attendance. They use this for attendance a lot. Attendance, and let's say it's September. Oh, let's use the first day of school, of course. October 5th. I'm thinking you guys are going back to school in that time. (2020). Okay, and then you put your instruction here. You say, answer question so that I will know you're here. Okay, and notice that I'm not perfect, so this one is spelled wrong. And that one is OS. Okay. Period right there, and you can click create here, but you don't want to click create because it's attendance. You want it to be out of 1 point. Okay, make it out of 1 point because you don't want to give away points because it's just attendance for them to be there. All right, if you want a short answer for it right here, you get it right there, but we're gonna choose leave it like that. Students can reply to each other. Nope, you don't want them to reply to each other. And students can edit answer. No, you don't want them to edit. So click off that. And then click on topic. We haven't created any topic yet. So create a topic because you're going to take attendance in there every single day. So you call this attendance. Okay, and that will be your topic for attendance if you're taking attendance in there. Due date, let's say the due date is, well, we said it's October 5th. So let's choose October 5th. If it's tomorrow morning you're doing the attendance, you want the due date is to be tomorrow morning. So October 5th. And then what time? The time you take attendance, let's say attendance is supposed to be taken at 8:30 a.m. You want to make it 8:25. Just keep it 5 minutes before. So in case any glitch occur, you can fix it. Okay? And then keep it like that. So see, it's right there. Then students will respond to this. If you want to make, you don't want to make it really a multiple choice. You really, or a short answer, sorry. You don't want to make it a short answer. Keep it multiple choice because it's short. All right, ask. You see the word ask at the top here? And notice that it says saved because everything you do in Google, it saves automatically. You don't have to click save. Click on this and you don't have to schedule because you already put it right here. That is going to go live on that day. Or if you want to schedule it for that day, click on, go to here, 5th of October, not 8 o'clock, but 8:25, and schedule and wait. And it says problem scheduling. I dismiss this. I don't know why this is happening right there. Okay, there we go. All right, now for the attendance right here, it shows up right here, okay? Now this is the due date. You want to, the scheduling is off, but once they click on it, students will get this. Right at that time, they will get it. Once they click on it, they will answer the question. Once they answer, this is the teacher's viewpoint, so you're not gonna see it as a student. Once they see this, they're gonna answer it. They're gonna just choose yes or no. Of course, they're not gonna see it no if they're not there. Once they answer, all of them answer, you're gonna see their numbers right here. So however many answer yes will be right here. And whoever is not there, you're going to look in front of you, of course, because they're all sitting right in there, or they're in front of you in the Zoom account or wherever they are meeting them. Then you will see if they're there or not. However, once you click on these that turn it in, nobody is over here already because we don't have any students, but you'll see all their names right here. And every one of them that turn in, they will be in green or blue, I can't remember. They'll be right in there, okay? The ones who haven't turned in, you'll see their names at the bottom of everyone. And their not turned in will be in red. No, the turned in and the not turned in means that they're there or they're not there. And then if you have a register attendance book, then you'll put in that physically, if you carry one of those outside of Google. So you see all them, there's things right here, okay? That's from the teacher's perspective. And of course, you click on question and you see the question right here, okay? All right, let's go back to our assignments. Why is it not going back? I don't know. Okay, now we're back there where all your classwork is. So that's it for, let me see if we're finished with anything here. Question, material is basically where you upload materials and you keep them safe in there to use them later on. Basically, let me click on it and show you what it means. It just means that you're uploading material for them. That's what it is. Okay, and if you want to post the material, you can post it or save it for them for later on. Let's say you promised them a worksheet and you didn't upload it. You want to just click on material because you don't want to add too much things to it. It's not a question, it's not a quiz, it's not anything. You just upload material. If you want to reuse the post, for example, this attendance, you're going to reuse it. So you want to go up here. You don't have to click on reuse up there. You click on the three little dots here on the post itself, copy the link, post it again. Edit or do whatever and post it again. Or if you just want to go to create and click reuse post, you want to reuse this, reuse it. Go to topic, click on the topic and then go through your topics, which is measurement or the other ones you're creating, or what do you call it, attendance. Then you can click on those in there, okay? All right, so that's it for classwork, quizzes, assignments, and assignments could be anything. Assignments could be classwork in front of you. It doesn't have to be homework. It could be right in front of you and you say, okay, go on Google Classroom. There's an assignment on there. You need to do it now. Take out your iPad or whichever computer they're working on. They can work on it right away. All right, now where it says people right here, so we're moving on from classwork. Where it says people right here, you have options. You have students and all your students will be right here. So all my students, right now it's blank, so nobody's in here. They will appear down here, all of them. They'll be listed all the way down here. And then for the teachers who are in the class, they will be right here. However, if you want to invite a teacher to co-teach with you, click on this little guy up here with the plus sign and you enter their email address here or their Google, what do you call it? Username. And once you start typing in here, then it will start showing up, okay? So that's C-A-R-L. Notice that a whole bunch of people, once you start typing in, it shows up and you just click on them and invite them. They will get an email from you saying that you're inviting them to join their class and you can, they will join your class. Once they join, their name will be under yours right here. As many as possible you can join. My suggestion is get your principal to join your class so that they can pop in and see what you're doing. They can see all your assignments that you're putting up and they will feel very proud of you, okay? They will brag about you as much as possible. So get them to come in your class, ladies and gentlemen, so that they can see what you're doing in there. If you are one of the lazy ones, you might not want to invite them in there. Just saying. All right, so for your grades. Now the last thing is grades here. Not the last thing, I'm gonna go through the setting in a little while. But for grades, nothing is here again, and it says set up your grading system and choose if you want students to see. We're gonna go through it. It's right up here. the setting, this little gear thing right up here. We're gonna go through it. Now the grades here, you do not do anything. Once you have your assignments, your quizzes, all of those, and you enter the points and so on in classwork here, all of these, they will automatically populate the grades over here. And if you choose to grade them, then they will have grades over here. If you have ungraded, then you will have the ungraded sign over there. So you don't have to worry about saying, oh my goodness, I'm gonna have to create a page, I'm gonna have to rule it up, I'm gonna have to put their names over there. I need to see who is turning in assignments and how much they're getting. You don't have to do that. Once you grade them, though, if you, let's say you're creating a worksheet and you have to grade it by hand, then of course you're gonna have to put in that grade. But anything that is in Google here, and you're doing multiple choice or whatever, and they submit their answers, you grade it in there and it automatically goes over there. Any numbers you put in automatically goes over there. All right, let's go to the last thing is for Google Classroom is setting. And this little baby right here is your dearest friend if you want to hide things from students or everybody else or so on, XYZ. All right, now if you notice, there's an invite, wait, let me go back up from the top. You can edit your name in here. So if you want to edit your name, you can't edit the name over here. You cannot. You have to come in here in the setting and edit the name. You edit the name, you can write a description of your class, call it what it is, you know, oh, we are the wandering sheep, looking around campus, whatever, you know, anything, really fun. You can make it inspiring for students, you know. You're aiming for the stars this year. We're online and we're doing wonderful things, you know. Do that for your class. You can change your room number, you can change your name down here to be subject something, you know, and put it as a subject. Down here is general settings, as I said right here. It says manage invite code. You can enable the code at the front or you can reset it, the code at the front. If I were you, I wouldn't reset it because the class already have it. And if they have it, you don't want to reset it and they don't know where to find it. So don't reset it unless somebody hack into your system and they reset the code. This is the link if you don't want to share the code. The code is basically, let me go back to the front real quickly. Stream, this is the code right here. That is their class code. So if you don't want to use that code, you could use the link. You could copy this little image right here, says copy the code, and you can send it in an email or a message. Okay. You can display class code really big so that they can see it and write it down from here also. Stream. Now this is the front part of your classroom where they're seeing announcements and so on. You can choose what they do with the post. Now this is where you choose what they do with the post. Students can post and comment. If you only want them to comment on it, you click right here, the second one. Students can only comment. If you want only the teacher to comment on post and also post, you put only teachers can post or comment. So you want to choose that. If your students are crazy, you don't want them to write on there because they might put bad words on there. So you choose that you alone will comment on it and they can only read the post. Some of them are evil. So you just want to get them out of it for other people's sake. Okay, call it what it is. Classwork on the stream. If you want to show condensed notification mean if you want all of them to be in like a little box by themselves with all the comments together, you can choose condensed notification, that all of the likes go together. And then once you create a new post, then all of those comments on that post will stay together. So you condense it. If you don't want to condense it, then you choose show attachments and details. This takes up a lot of space. The attachments and details can be long. So I choose to condense mine because I want them to stay together. And then you can click on them and it just open up into the wider one and you can read whatever they post in there. Another one is that you can hide it. So you can hide the notification on your stream that you see no notification. And people might come in and wonder, oh boy, you're not doing anything here, but you have a whole bunch of things, but nobody's seeing it on your stream. That's what they refer to the first part as, stream. Okay. The last thing is the deleted, in this section, show deleted items. You want to not show deleted items because the same thing happens with deleted items. They take up a lot of space on the stream and you have to scroll through them and they're blurred because they're deleted. You don't want to keep them in the front there. You can go back again and click on this if you want to see them, but I wouldn't keep them on there. They take up too much space. All right, for the grading system in general, this is your setting. You want to show overall grade calculation. You click here on this little arrow, you show total points or you show the weighed points. So if you're weighing it with the rubric, you want to show the weighed category here, if you want to choose that to show it. Or if you don't want to show any grades, you just click no overall grade. You don't show anything. Show overall grade to students. This one, you can make it blue by showing this. If you want to click on grade total points and then click right here, it turned blue. Or if you don't want to show anything, you don't show anything to the students. In your case, you might need to show them grades. So you want to click on this first, click total points or weight points by category, and then click on this, it becomes blue. It always becomes blue if it's highlighted. If you don't want to show anything, just don't show anything, okay? All right, grade by category, add grade category. Now, in this case, you want to add the category. Category basically means how much is being graded out of, what is being graded out of that. And you add the category there. It's similar to what you would do on your rubric, basically. Okay, all right, so we're not doing that, and I'm not gonna save this. So let's come over here and click off that and click disregard. All right, and it's back to your stream. It always open up to your front page of your screen. Oh, one last thing is this little arrow in the middle right here of your stream. Click on it, and you see the room number and the subject or the name. If you're doing high school, of course, you'll have the subject here. If you're doing elementary school, I suggest don't put a subject there because you're going to be teaching one class. All right, finish here. I'm going to set the setting so that you can unmute yourself. Yeah, I'm going to take some questions here. I'm going to go for another about 15 minutes or so. And then I have to roll out of here. Okay, I'm going to stop sharing my screen and then take some questions.
All right, I want to say thanks to Mr. Dyce, Dr. Dyce, for that presentation. And if there are any questions now, you may indicate so by raising your hand. You'll be acknowledged and your questions will be taken.
Yeah, and you can unmute yourself at this time. All right, Miss Hunter. Okay, you can unmute yourself and ask a question.
Hi, good evening. How are you?
I'm fine, thank you.
Just a question. If you have a, let's say, a PowerPoint presentation that was done in Microsoft Word, I don't know if you said it in your presentation,
Yeah.
but if you have a PowerPoint presentation in Microsoft, can you then upload it to Google Slides or export it to it?
Yeah, that we haven't gone through that because that's different. That's in Google Drive. Google Drive has all of those ones, yeah. But you can upload it. You can export it to Google Slides, and it turns into slides. But that's gonna take up a little bit more time, and it's a different aspect of Google. So yes.
Okay, because I was trying to do that today, but wasn't really getting through. So I was hoping that you could maybe quickly just say how I could do that.
Oh, just go. What is happening is that you're probably not accepting the permission, because the Google asks permission a lot. When you upload the PowerPoint, you're gonna have to change it to slides. So in the upper, there's a little menu at the top of the bar. You're gonna choose slides and then click OK to change it to slides, because it's not gonna be PowerPoint anymore. It looks like a PowerPoint, but it's not PowerPoint. So you have
right,
to,
it looks like a PDF when I open it.
Yeah. So you want to change. Oh, no, that's different. The PDF is different. It can be looking like a PowerPoint on there, and you can edit it like a PowerPoint, but it's called slides. So you want to choose that you want it to be a Google slide. So you have to choose that specifically. We're going to run some Geminis on it later this month on Google, Google Drive, Google Slides, Google Forms. We have done some already in the past, but in the education task force, we're going to do some Geminis on them.
Okay, thank you.
You're most welcome. Ms. Daniels?
Yes, could you please remind me how you mark in Google Classroom?
What do you mean by mark?
Mark an assignment to give a grade.
Grade them? I don't understand. What do you mean by mark them?
How do you mark the assignment?
Like you put pen and paper together?
No, within Google.
Oh, you don't do that in Google. If you want to do that, you'll have to have a touchscreen device. And what it does is, what you're doing is basically looking over the paper, and you probably will have to export it to Word and then grade it on there, like mark it up on there. Whatever they're getting wrong or right, you put it on there. But it has to do with if you have a device that you can write on, like your phone, you can pull up the assignment on your phone and actually write on it, because you have a pen. If it's a note phone with a pen, you can write on it like that. Or anything that you can write on the device, and then you can upload that assignment back to the student. But other than that, you can't really write on it. What you can do is to type on it. And one of the things we didn't go through, because Google Classroom is different from slides and docs and so on, how to create an assignment in Google Doc. You literally, basically, if you have a PDF document, and usually you use a PDF document so that the students can edit it in Word. So you use a PDF document, insert a text box on it, and the students can write in the text box to answer their questions. They can type in it. And when you are giving them feedback, you basically insert another text box right next to it and type in your comments on it. Say, this is correct, this is correct, this is correct, in red or in a different color from what they're writing in. And then you save it and they send it back to the students. So yeah, in Google, you're using text boxes a lot to type in. If you have as I said, a device that you can write on the screen, then that would be good. You can just write on it quickly, but you can't just write on them like that, or grade them on there. What is very, very good is if you can use the form and do multiple choices, your prayers will be answered. But the problem with that is that you can't give, there won't be any, you know, on a math paper where you can mark it up and show them where they're going wrong and so on. You can do that. You can't do that on there. But you can type on it in the box. You guys need to do the rest of it, like Google Docs, Google Form, and the Google Drive in general. Google Drive.
Yes, Mr. Dyce, you will be doing that with us, right?
Well, we're gonna put on Geminis because we really need to get to the Geminis. What I did or do is to get the entire Jamaica engaged with this, and what we're sharing here is for the entire Jamaica. Yeah, so you'll get it.
But sometimes, Dr. Dyce, we are unable, many of us are unable to get into those Geminis because they are maxed out, just like today, where it's maxed out with 100 and some persons are not able to access and get the information. So we have to try other means. And I do think that this is, or you are another mean of getting the help that we so desire.
Okay. We have the platform that can host over 3,000 to 5,000 people. So yeah, but we're here to help. Seriously, we're here to help. So yes.
Okay.
Yes, Miss Kelly. Mrs. Kelly, Jesus. Okay. Any question? I see Miss Miss Kidding Scott Holness. You have a question or comment? No? Okay, no. Anybody else? Anybody else? Nobody?
Nobody else, colleagues? All right, if that is
Barbara,
it.
hold on.
Barbara?
Barbara Mantra. I think your name is pronounced. You can unmute.
Hello, good evening.
Good evening.
I realized that when I was trying to follow your instructions using another device other than the laptop,
Mhm.
I didn't get quite the amount of choices as you had
Oh, because
in
you're using
terms
the app.
of when you were going into the settings and so on.
Mhm.
So you had mentioned it earlier, but I didn't quite get what you said we were supposed to do
Is
in
it the
that
app?
regard.
Are you using the app?
I'm using Google Classroom,
The app or the
yeah,
website?
the app.
Oh yeah, that's why. You need to use the website. The Google Chrome.
So download Google Chrome.
The website. So go on the website and use it. Sign in through the website. Another thing
Okay.
that I should have said from the beginning is if you're using your personal email, it might limit you to some of the apps. It might very much limit you.
Okay. Okay. I was the person who asked about the email earlier too, because we haven't received those that
Yeah,
were
so if you're,
mentioned at the
yeah,
beginning.
yeah, it's not
Oh,
gonna be.
well, I'm assuming that you will get them in short order because presently what ministry is doing is asking for students who would have been enrolled at grade 1 in the schools, well, in primary schools, probably, yes, for primary schools, and they are designing the usernames and passwords for those students so they can access the site.
So is it that the school is to do it for the teachers, or what is going to happen
No
for the
man,
teachers?
no man. What ministry did? They sent Nisha. Her name is Nisha Walker Willis.
Yes.
Right, she's the person, well, from Region 7, because I'm from Region 7 presently, who did it. So she sent one with a blank information that you can put in for the teachers, and new teachers you'd put in there.
So those were sent to the principals.
Yes, they were sent to the principal.
Okay,
So
so I'll inquire at my school.
all right, no problem.
Okay, thank you very much.
You're welcome.
You're most welcome. All right, somebody asked about the recording. How can we access the recording? I'm gonna upload this recording and then send it to Mrs. Kelly. Yeah, and then she can send it to everybody.
Right, and whosoever I had shared the link with, I will share it again with it. So if you did not get it directly from me, whoever gave you the link, they will pass it on to you.
Okay, yeah. All right, Miss Bailey, you have a question? Miss Bailey. Miss Scott Holness, you have a question?
Saying that I have a question.
Yeah. You have a question?
No, Dr. Dyce, no question.
Okay. All right. Since you guys are satisfied, I take it that you're very satisfied. Go home and, oh, you're already home. And try it out. Remember, you're not gonna go wrong. And if you do go wrong, it's not wrong, because you can delete it and start again. Okay. Let me see. What is the password to join the Google Classroom? The password is coming from your school or the ministry. You can use, if you're using your personal email, that's your password. For Google Classroom, it doesn't really have a password. It has one code, one link. So it doesn't have a password. What has a password is the email address that is generated to get into Google platform itself. So there's no, Google doesn't make any password for their Drive or their Classroom or the suite in general. Okay. All right, Mrs. Kelly, if there's no more to be dealt with here, I have to jump over it in 4 minutes.
Yes, no problem. But before you go, Mrs. Lloyd will do the vote of thanks for this session.
Okay.
Okay, good evening, educators. Thanks to all the teachers of Chandler's Bend Primary and Junior High School and other teachers who saw it fit to grace us with their presence. And thank you, Mrs. Kelly, our principal, for organizing this workshop. Special thanks to Dr. Dwayne Dyce, our presenter, for educating us with such timely information. Thank you for executing so eloquently and efficiently. We appreciate your presence. We will surely put to use what you have shared in a practical manner.
There's a cup outside with spoon for you to take up here.
Okay, thank you very much, Miss Lloyd.
You're welcome.
Thank you. Yes, and thank you, Mrs. Kelly.
You're welcome, Mr. Dyce. Thank you again, teachers, colleagues who have joined us. And whenever we have another one with Mr. Dyce or anyone else, we will definitely share the link with you so you can join with us, all right?
Okay.
You're
All right, see you guys. Have fun out there, okay? We'll see you. We'll see you in our next seminars. For somebody asked about certificates, no, we're not getting any certificates for this. This is a one-time, one-off that I did, because Miss Kelly and I go way back from touch roof and selfish in a ceiling, way back. So I'm willing. I think I'm privileged to do this. Then we're gonna get some people to do some Google Classroom. If you want to join the education task force,
Thank you, Ms. Kelly. Thank you, Dr. Bryce. It was a very informative session, and I've learned a lot. Thanks much.
For those of us who want to join the education task force so you can get information, you can go on JDTAN website, jdtan.org, and you can you can click on join a task force and join the education task force. If you don't know yet, we're doing a whole lot of work in Jamaica with the ministry and the JTA, and we have people from all over the world that we're working with. All right, have a great evening. Today is the middle of the month. Make the best use of what is left, and we'll see you guys soon. Take care, Miss Kelly.
Thank you, Mr.
Bye,
Dyce.
everybody. Yes, bye.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
Hey, protocol is Google Meeting. Oh, gosh, I'm still on. Okay. Okay.